Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:30, February 5th, 2023, and of course today felt a lot warmer than yesterday, for sure. Uh, like I said, that cold air was in here and it was out of here, but not before breaking some records in a lot of places, particularly in the New England area. We're going to actually look back at this here, and you can see the temperature change that took place over New England. But if we go back, and today is National Weather Person's Day as well. So Nantucket tied a record, I believe. The -3 in Nantucket, all-time record low. It tied the all-time record low, which occurred on January 16, 2004, and December 31st, 1962. So there you go. Some all-time records are being broken by this cold weather. Pretty insane here to see here. And here's another one here in Boston. It was their first double-digit negative temperature since. So number 10 got down to -10 in Boston, and that was their first double-digit negative temperatures since -12 in 1957. It also breaks the most recent coldest temperatures of -9 set back in 2016. So these are the record lows here at Boston. So yeah, it got pretty chilly. The core of that air was mainly over New England, and part of Long Island got a glancing blow of it, and New Jersey really didn't see anything that crazy compared to what they dealt with in New England. And Mount Washington also tied its all-time record of -47 as well. So but that is all a distant memory today. Looking at what we got going on outside, out across the country, fairly quiet. Nothing too crazy going on. So we'll look at our current temperatures right now. And you'll see here temperatures generally around 40 degrees. What a difference from yesterday. Looking at islip. We'll take a look at islip, and you'll see here what a difference from yesterday. The temperatures I think they just kept rising all night long. Yeah, they just kept going up all night long. And then today we got into the 40s. So we'll look at our highs today and our lows. So our highs, mid-40s across Long Island. Close. It looks like in Jersey, wow, even warmer there. They got into the mid-50s. So there was a southwest wind, so it kept Long Island a little cooler, I guess. You can see New Jersey was really warm, mid-50s. That's quite warm indeed. And let's go to the lows, and you'll see these lows were pretty much set around midnight last night because, again, the temperatures just kept rising throughout the night. And a lot more clouds around today. You can see all the clouds here. A lot of high clouds, kind of a junked-up looking sky today. So going to our weather map here, you see here, there is these lows, these low-pressure systems off to the west here. Weak cold front, couple over here, and then another little storm in the southwest. Nothing, like I said, nothing really crazy going on right now across the area. So let's go take a look at the models, and I guess we'll start with the whole general pattern because hope you enjoyed that cold air, because now our little 36 hours of winter is over, and now we're back into this ridiculous warmth once again. So let's go to the jet stream here. And you see there a little weak trough, but you can see it's more or less zonal ridging in the east. You have a couple of narrow troughs come through. There's one for next weekend. And then another, you can see just the troughs are generally in the west. So this is not a good look, and you can see some troughing in the west, but we got this Atlantic ridge in the east that's going to keep us above normal, and this is going right through February the 21st here. So with a pattern like this, we're going to be above normal most of the time. Looking at your heights, again, there's that big trough that brought us the cold weather, but as far as this week goes, you generally see a little bit of a trough tomorrow, but there's no connection to any cold air. It's just going to shift the winds to the north and form a storm offshore. But other than that, you can see generally ridging across the country. There is another little narrow trough that comes through next weekend, and then we're kind of stuck in the ridge. After that, we're going to really roast. We got a huge ridge in the east and a trough in the west. So this is going to be a pretty crappy pattern now going forward for the rest of the. Look at this. This is really there could be record warmth with a pattern like this for sure in the east. in this non-winter we've been having. It's just unbelievable. So I'll bring this down to the surface, and we'll go and we'll look at and again, this is the GFS, which I'm sticking to because it has the best track record for this. At least this season it does. So let's go to the temperature anomaly chart. And you'll see lots of red on the map all across the country except for the west. Here we are for Tuesday, above normal. Wednesday, above normal. Much above normal as we head toward the later part of the week. Friday in particular. And then above normal next weekend too. And maybe we have, following that trough, maybe one day that could be near normal. And then, boom, way above normal again. Here we go. We're going to roast here for the rest of February because it's going to be record-setting warmth. Meanwhile, look at the cold air going into the west. This is like torture. It's going into the west. They're going to get some nice cold air out of it. Maybe we'll get a little left over. But other than that, you can see, and then toward the end of the period, it's bringing another plunge of cold air, but it's into the west again. So this is the problem. There is cold air going to the west a little bit, but again, we're going to be way above normal with this jet stream pattern, this damn ridge in the east that we're going to have to deal with. And that means if you want winter, well, you're not going to have any. So let's go now to the surface map, and you'll see there's that offshore storm that's going to, this almost looks like it's going to become some type of tropical system. You never know. We'll have to keep an eye on that for tomorrow. That's way offshore. It's not going to affect us, but it really has a tropical look to it almost, the way it looks. And you can see how tight the isobars, very compact-looking storm there. High pressure is going to be over us for tomorrow, Tuesday, so at least we'll have fair weather. We won't have to deal with any rain. And the next chance for rain would be Thursday. That's our next chance of rain. And then again on Saturday with this, could be a Friday night, Saturday thing. We'll have to watch the timing of that with that system there. And then behind that, that's where we get a little bit of seasonal air with another high pressure. And then here we go as we head into you can see all the lows just tracking over the Great Lakes. So no snow for us. There is somewhat of a high that's going to try to bring some colder air than that. Maybe that's something, but this is now toward the end part of the model here. So you can see here the only Arctic air that would come would be into the upper Midwest. Again, when we looked at those temperature anomaly charts. So it really does suck, this pattern. It really does. And when you go to the Climate Prediction Center, you'll see that'll be backed up in the 6 to 10 day above normal temperatures for the Northeast through the upper Midwest and below normal in the West. And then as we go to the 8 to 14 day, a very good possibility of above normal temperatures in the Northeast and part of the Midwest, and below normal temperatures out west. As far as precipitation, near normal for us and above normal in a large part of the country, and definitely above normal in the Southwest. So if you want snow and colder weather, I think Flagstaff is going to be the place you're going to want to go. So let's go back to our models, and we'll take a look at the next couple of days here. We'll look at this week and the warmth that we're going to be dealing with. Because it's going to be pretty crazy. So I'll go start off with the HRRR model first, right? And you can see there's that storm, by the way. That storm gets pretty intense, and I'm just curious with the winds around it. Yeah, look at that. That almost looks tropical. Yeah, it would not surprise me given the water temperatures that we might have. That again, water temperatures are still way above normal. If we look at the Earth Null School site, we'll show you these water temperatures. Sea surface temperature anomaly. You still see these huge anomalies off the East Coast, these bright colors. So gets into that, man. That's going to give energy to that storm, and it could have some tropical characteristics to it, perhaps. That's quite interesting to see. But anyway, that's going to keep the winds out of the north tomorrow. So we won't have a southwest wind until that pulls away on Tuesday, and then the winds go a little more southerly. You can see there. All right. We'll put this in. Usually I show you the dew points and wind flow. And you can see warm core on that system too. So yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's going to be tropical. I'm going to have to look at a few more models with that. So anyway, tonight, light westerly winds, and then tomorrow the winds become northerly. But there's no Arctic air. The dew points aren't even below freezing, which is definitely and then you can see the winds picking up a little more out of the north tomorrow, again with the gradient between that system and the high. I'll try to bring in some of the drier air as far as dew points below freezing, but other than that, you see the winds go back to southwest as we head toward Tuesday night. On this temperatures, we will be well above normal. So here we go, our temperatures tonight. I don't think we make it down to freezing. Probably be mid-30s. And then for tomorrow, you're going to be highs probably in the mid-40s, mid to upper 40s on Long Island, close to 50 in New Jersey. And then tomorrow night, we kind of have a chance to get below freezing with the clearer skies and those northerly winds. And if we get calm winds, maybe some radiational cooling if the skies are clear. And then Tuesday looks a lot cooler. We're going to have actually set a little bit of that cool air pulled down from that system. All right, and there's the chance. Is there a chance of some showers here for Tuesday, or it's just clouds? I think we're just going to have clouds. So it's going to pull in, and this is our next chance of rain. So this will be our night. I almost forgot to show you this, but this will be our next chance. Tuesday night, very little. It's just a front that's going to pass through. Though it looks like it could bring some snow showers to New England. But again, look at that low. That's incredible right there. So going to I think we already went over the temperatures here. So Tuesday is going to be mild. Tuesday is going to be colder. So we'll go to the GFS next. All right, and here's the storm. The storm on the GFS, by the way. So I'll show more of it here. Not quite as deep with the storm. Yeah, not quite as deep, but still, it could have some tropical characteristics to it. We'll have to see what happens with this storm, because one thing it will do is keep the winds up and kick up maybe a little bit of wave action here. Let's see. Yeah, not that much. It's too far offshore to really have an effect on us, but if you're out there, it certainly will. So let's look at the dew points and wind flow here on the GFS. And you'll see, again, those winds become northerly by morning. And a little bit breezy with the northerly winds tomorrow. You'll see that northerly breeze there. Hopefully that'll give us maybe some sunshine. But those winds become easterly. We'll have to look at the clouds in a moment. But those winds become easterly as you get toward Tuesday, and then southerly by Tuesday. And then, oddly enough, the temperatures will be cool at Tuesday. That leads me to believe there's going to be cloud cover. If we look at the air temperatures on this GFS here, we'll see what it does. And then the winds go westerly on Tuesday. You can see that. And then we'll have a little bit of surge of some warm moist air that comes close. That brings us the chances of rain Thursday night to Friday. And then northwest, the winds take over. And then another wave comes up along this front. That could bring us some rain, again, overnight. It looks like now more of an overnight thing. And then a Saturday. But you'll see. And then behind it, that's when we get into some cooler air. You'll notice the dew points drop to well below freezing. So that could be some colder air there. But then it's very short-lived. And then we see, again, another wave of warmth come, and then another wave of warmth, and then this is looking a little promising, though. Maybe toward the middle of the month, it's trying to bring some cold air down. We'll have to see. This is, again, a ways away. That looks like cold air, looking at the dew points and the winds. But, again, let's go and look at the actual air temperatures now on the GFS. So for tomorrow, you'll see similar to the HRRR, and then you see that colder air on Tuesday over us, and then so at least Tuesday will feel a little more like it's supposed to, but then back above normal Wednesday again, upper 40s to near 50, and 50 is probably in Jersey. And here we are Tuesday. You can see that warm sector closing in on us, and you can see it there again. So you got the warm sector may or may not affect us. It's too far away to really know for sure. But snow, we're not going to see any of that. And then colder Saturday, Sunday. We'll be only in the 30s next Sunday, so at least we'll have that. And then we go above again, and then well above. You can see, I just want to show you some of the warmth that's being generated long range. Look at this, 60 or even 70 possible next week. Incredible warmth, incredible. And then after that, we cool off a little bit. You see, it won't be that cold. It won't be Arctic air. It won't be like what we dealt with, but you can see numerous opportunities for warmth in this forecast. You can see, and as we get to Thursday, you can see, look at Thursday night, 60 over Jersey, so it's going to be some real warmth. And it'll be a little humid too as well, because of that tropical air. So let's go now look at the clouds. Obviously, plenty of clouds over us right now. Tomorrow, we have to watch this storm offshore. Maybe there'll be a cloud shield. This is, again, low resolution model, but it does have a lot of clouds over us. Here we are Tuesday. You can see we're going to deal with high clouds. And then Wednesday, dealing with clouds. Thursday, Friday. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of clouds around in this pattern. Maybe we may not have a chance to clear it out until next Sunday. Would be our next chance. According to the GFS, this is a lower resolution model, of course. So let's go to a higher resolution model. I'm not going to use the FV3 because I don't think we have that much. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that one. Let's go to the RGM. I don't want to show you a 12Z model. So this is the RGM, and see it has a few clouds to start, and then more sunshine by the afternoon. And then as we head into, it's clear overnight, Tuesday night, and as you get into Tuesday, you'll see the high clouds start streaming in, particularly later in the day, according to the RGM. And then for Wednesday, it does seem to clear us out, though there may be a few high clouds to deal with. This is the RGM model, right? Every model has their own opinion on that storm and the cloud shield, because the NAM wants to keep that cloud shield, at least when I looked at the last run. It keeps the cloud shield over Long Island. It doesn't move it out until the evening, and then, of course, guess what arrives Tuesday with more cirrus. So we'll have to see what happens with that. It's kind of hard to predict at this point, but let's go back to the GFS, and there's other tools we can use for the clouds and the skies, of course. So I'll put this back to this, and we'll use this. So as we go to tomorrow here, we can use this. This will kind of tell us here, this model sounding. Yeah, you can see there's moisture at the lower levels because the dew points aren't that low. So it's showing some stratocumulus deck clouds around 18Z over Long Island. Let's see. Yep. So, and Jersey too. If I move it to 12Z, maybe we will. Let's see. Yeah, it's still pretty close together. It's 12Z, 18Z. And then for Tuesday, we move it to Tuesday, 18Z. And then you see there's a deck in the mid-levels, pretty much. And then go to Wednesday. Yep, high-level clouds. So, yeah, it's not looking great on this model at all for as far as skies go. I can go to the HRRR model. We can use a different one. Go to the 0Z as well and show you this. And again, we were worried about yesterday. Yesterday did work out, so maybe it will, maybe it won't. There is some space here between these two lines. Here, this is at 18Z, so maybe there will be sunshine according to this HRRR model. But there is some clustering here, so I'll have to watch for the possibility of clouds. There'll be sun tomorrow, but I don't know if it's going to be a clear day or not. Sun, it's like sun and passing clouds or whatever. Mostly of the stratocumulus variety. That low is really intense. And let's move this into Tuesday now, because I know we'll have to deal with the high clouds for Tuesday. So here we are for Tuesday, and we're questing, and yeah, you can see a little bit of these two are kind of close together up here. So, and this also backs up. We can go to the windy.com model and look at that as well. And then I want to look at this for also because of that storm. Now this will be the European model. Let's see if that storm shows up. There it is, right there. That looks like quite an intense storm that's going to develop there. And if we put wind gusts in here, you can see this could be European, not quite as strong as the HRRR. If I put HRRR on here, look at this. This HRRR is really intensifying this storm. Look at that, 93 miles an hour. Maybe a little too much. Let's see what the NAM is doing with it. The NAM not quite as intense with it, but still, and there's a pretty strong center of low. Well, we're going to have to see. We may have some type of tropical hybrid storm offshore, but whatever the case is, it's going to affect our winds tomorrow and keep them from the north. I don't know why. When I was watching News 12, not by choice, this meteorologist was saying southwest winds tomorrow. No, winds are going to be north tomorrow. You can see every single model saying that. So this is, we can use this and show clouds. And European, it says sunny day tomorrow. So it says we start up with clouds, but then as we get toward the afternoon, let's go to 2 o'clock. Actually, no, this is 2 o'clock. Yeah, it does have some clouds over us. But right around 11, or there may be a couple of hours at least to clear skies here. It's showing no cloud cover there. And if we go and we look at it, we use that other tool to tell us. And then as we go into Tuesday, you'll see we'll have more of those high clouds around, quite a bit of them, actually. All right, and then Wednesday, that's a ways away. I don't know what's going to happen for Wednesday. It's showing some high clouds around. So let's go back to this and look at go to the humidity. Actually, I don't need to do that. That's fine. I'm not going to do that with this model. But that storm offshore again is something that's there. It is right there. It's quite something. We'll have to see what happens with that because it could gain some tropical characteristics. It looks like it's trying to, at least. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, you can sort of see it there a little bit. So that's showing low clouds, cloud-based visibility, waves. We'll do the waves. But you'll see the high surf pretty much stays offshore. It does expand a little bit. Maybe parts of Maine will feel it a little bit. But in the storm, I mean, you could have waves up to 30 feet. So this is going to be a big storm. It's going to be offshore, but it's going to be compact, which, again, leads me to believe it's going to have some tropical characteristics to it, for sure. You can look at Ventus Sky, which is another site we can use to show you things. And look at the, this again mainly uses the HRRR by default. So let's go, there's that storm again. You can see it right there. Look at how warm it is in that center of that storm, by the way. So you get some warm, humid air in that center. And again, if we look at wind gusts, I mean, look at the I don't know what, oh my God, 107 miles an hour. I mean, that's incredible to have a storm that intense. The model may just be, so maybe something with the model doing this, but if this happens, I mean, this is going to be quite an intense little storm offshore, and I think it definitely could have some tropical characteristics to it. I don't think the Hurricane Center is talking about it. We can certainly look, but I don't think it is, but we can look. Nothing, I'm not going to say anything about this, but yeah, we have to watch this. This could be interesting. This could be interesting. So, but anyway, let's look at the clouds for tomorrow. Oh, we already did look at the clouds, I think, on this, right? Did we? I don't know if we did. Okay, let's look at the clouds for tomorrow. And you can see, all right, that's 10 o'clock, so let's move this to 12. It actually seems to, yeah, it seems to have us in the clouds from this big storm here that's forming offshore, so it doesn't seem to have a cloud shield. Whether we'll actually see that cloud shield or not isn't the story, because storms, especially storms with tropical characteristics, tend to have subsidence on the outside of them. So we'll have to see what happens, but it's really hard to say what's going to happen with the sky tomorrow because we have some disagreement with the models. It's not really, you know, I mean, the satellite, looking at the satellite, it doesn't look too hopeful. I see a lot of clouds upstream of us. So, yeah, I don't expect a clear day tomorrow. I don't think we'll have what we had on Saturday. Again, as far as the night sky, it's why we need that Arctic air. Or, you know, the way this kind of pattern we're in, it just kind of sucks, you know. So back to Ventus Sky. And again, this storm is going to stay offshore. So, again, I'll put this on. Oh, yeah, we already did the wind gusts. Just do wind speed, and we'll look at the storm again for tomorrow again, because this thing is just this. You can see, look at this thing. It's massive. So this could be pretty impressive here. We're going to have to watch this thing. It really just explodes it offshore. Whatever the case is. This is the HRRR doing this. Actually, it's the Icon. Icon is doing it. The Icon is doing it. So the Icon also is intensifying this storm as well to quite a bit. Again, this is because the HRRR doesn't go this far out. So this is something we're going to have to watch, this intense low that's going to develop offshore. But either way, it's going to keep the winds out of the north for tomorrow. And here it is. Here we are moving it. It looks like it just gets stuck here offshore. So yeah, it looks like it gets stuck. Here we are. So this would be the Icon model. So if we go back to tropical tidbits, that's what we'll have to do, I guess. We can look at this storm with the Icon model as well. And I'll move this off to the North Atlantic, or let's see if we can get a better view. We'll just do the Eastern U.S. view, I guess. If we look at the Icon model here, and look at that, and we're going to get close to wrap things up here. So, yeah, look at this. See, it kind of just explodes it. Here we are. It's in that right part of the trough to get energized from the jet stream a little bit, get a little energy from it. But there's also some pretty warm water it has to work with. Here it is Monday, and it just slowly moves. Yeah, look at that. Meanders around a little bit and intent. Look at how tight that is. That is incredible. So, again, if we look at the kind of winds here, they're going to be around this thing. I mean, that's impressive right there. So, yeah, it's in the middle of the ocean, but it's that's really unusual. I would not be surprised if we see an eye with this thing. Yep, we could definitely see an eye. But anyway, the last thing we'll talk about here, sea ice, which we don't have a technically update from them, but we'll go to our sea ice meter here, and you will see we are at the bottom here. There's our little map here, and you can see it's supposed to be ice in a lot of areas, and a lot of areas don't have it. And if we go to this chart here, which is a little longer, you'll see there we are at the bottom. Lowest sea, we're in the, very low sea ice compared to what we should have. And if I go to the back button here, we can also do Greenland sheets. All right, some of this is all right. That's Antarctica, which is also seeing lows as well. First, let's go to the Greenland one. All right. Nothing really new from them. So, all right. Well, I guess that wraps up this date. So again, yep. And I hope you enjoyed that cold, because not only we're gonna have to deal with at least we're not gonna have to deal with as much rain, but it will be well above average and lots of clouds in the sky, it looks like. So that's gonna wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.